right now on Fox 5 News.
The votes are in, polls closed, and the results are flooding in. Zohran Mamdani claiming victory and will usher in a new generation of progressive politics in New York City.
In a surprising turn in the race for New Jersey governor, Democrat Mikey Sherrill will be the next governor of the Garden State with a resounding win tonight.
Welcome to this special edition of the 10 o'clock news. I'm Natasha Verma.
And I'm Steve Lacey. Let's get right to the results. This is a look at the voters who made their choice clear in this election. The race for mayor, Zohran Mamdani, the next mayor, the AP calling that race just about 30 minutes after the polls closed with 90% of the votes in. You can see Zohran Mamdani with 50% of the vote to Andrew Cuomo's 42%. Curtis Sliwa picking up the rear with 7%. In a surprising turn in the New Jersey governor's race, Mikey Sherrill quick to gain a lead and be declared the winner in what was expected to be a much tighter race. The final numbers with 93% of votes in, 56 to 43 for Sherrill.
And from New Jersey to New York City, the Fox 5 team is spread out across the area with the candidates at their watch parties.
All right, we're going to kick things off with Morgan McKay live in downtown Brooklyn at the Mamdani headquarters, where we are waiting to hear from the winning candidate for New York City, Mayor Morgan.
Hey, Steve and Natasha. Zohran Mamdani is set to become New York City's 111th mayor, the youngest mayor in generations at 34 years old. And he is set to take the stage, hopefully here pretty soon. They moved off the DJ table. They had almost a little bit of a party going on in here, and they moved off the DJ table, likely to make room for Mamdani when he comes on. During the primary, he didn't come out to speak to supporters until around 1 a.m. because his campaign told us they didn't really have a plan during the primary until polls closed at 9 p.m. They didn't really have a plan after that. So they said that they had to pretty much write a victory speech during the Democratic primary. They said this time, though, they are more prepared. They were expecting this victory, but his supporters just really excited tonight when Andrew Cuomo came out to give his concession speech earlier. There was a lot of booing, but Mamdani supporters, as you can see, are very excited. People getting excited hopefully to see him. We have big names out here tonight. Congresswoman AOC, State Attorney General Letitia James, a lot of other elected officials. Now, Mamdani has a long ways to go when it comes to his affordability agenda, but Governor Kathy Hochul, she's one of his big supporters, and she is on board for some of his affordability agenda items like universal child care, although it's unclear if some of these federal cuts are going to go through next year, and the state budget could be grappling with some budget deficits. But Mamdani supporters really taking this as a win tonight, that their voices are being heard, and Mamdani's campaign really hoping that he keeps that 50% majority of votes. Reporting live here at Mamdani headquarters, I'm going to send things off to our reporter Linda Schmidt over at Andrew Cuomo's campaign headquarters.
Yeah. All right, Morgan, thank you so much. And like Morgan just said, let's go over to Linda Schmidt, who's over at Andrew Cuomo's headquarters. And Linda, completely different story over there.
A completely different story here right now. Very quiet. Most of the crowd here is gone. Cuomo came out on the stage. They had announced just a moment, but a couple of minutes before he was ready to come out, about 2 minutes before, that he was going to be coming out and he was going to be making his concession speech. Now, he did congratulate Zohran Mamdani, saying that it was their night tonight, but he didn't do it right off the top. It was a couple of minutes into his concession speech. But one thing that bears noting here, this is the second time now that Andrew Cuomo has given a concession speech, has conceded to Zohran Mamdani. The first time, of course, was back in the primary back in June. He did say, though, that he is ready to help in any way that he can, that his team of people, they're ready to help New York in any way that they possibly can, because they do love the city of New York and they have to keep New York functioning in a very healthy way. He also said that we are not going to be making the NYPD the enemy, that we need law and order, and that we need the police to keep society safe. He also said the 42% of voters who cast their ballot for him, they voted against making promises, quote, that we know cannot be met. Of course, making reference there to Mamdani saying that he's going to be freezing the rents, providing free buses, city-owned grocery stores, in addition to a number number of other things. And he also pointed out he did get 42% of the vote. He said 42% of those people voted for us on the independent line, which is the highest percentage in modern history. So he is spinning this in somewhat of a positive way in his favor, and we're going to have to wait and see what the future holds for Andrew Cuomo. But for right now, he's 67 years old. Is he out of politics? We don't know yet. Highly unlikely he would ever run for mayor again, though. Another thing, too, he did thank Mayor Adams for dropping out of the race to give his campaign a fighting shot at beating Zoran Mamdani. Back inside to you.
Yeah, it seemed like he was keeping his options open there. He got to the gracious part, but it took about 5 minutes or so, as you alluded to, Linda. We appreciate it. All right, let's go to Kendall Green now, where Curtis Sliwa gave his concession speech earlier, and you can see it's a ghost town now on the Upper West Side at his headquarters.
Yeah, hey, good evening, Steve and Natasha. Definitely a ghost town at this point, but Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa, he gave his concession speech about an hour and a half ago. Let's take a look at the video of him addressing this crowd just moments ago before he would give that speech. He walked into the small crowd full of supporters on the Upper West Side after running a gritty campaign, and he continued to stand firm and defiant in his views on public safety, especially on the subway and public transit, and offering his platform for voters who feel left behind by the system. And he maintained his distance at the same time from both Mayor-elect Mamdani and Cuomo while in the process. Now, reminding his supporters of how many times he's been bribed to drop out of their race, reinforcing his stance that he's for the people and not for sale. But that candidate, he spoke to the supporters, thanking them for their commitment to his campaign before conceding. Let's take a listen to his speech earlier.
We have a mayor-elect. Obviously, I wish him good luck, because if he does well, we do well. But I will tell you this. We have spent 2 years organizing this movement. It's not just Republicans or Democrats or independents. It's animal lovers. It's people who've been disenfranchised. People who have been pushed to the side, whose voices have not been heard.
Now, while it's evident that he doesn't agree with the political ideologies of either of his opponents, he did say he did want Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani to be successful as mayor, because if he's successful, New York is successful. But that's the latest here on the Upper West Side. Kendall Green, Fox 5 News. Steve, Natasha.
All right, Kendall, thank you so much. Election night coverage continues in New Jersey. All
right, we're going to take you to the candidate watch parties next, and we are waiting to hear, of course, from Zoran Mamdani, who won the race for mayor tonight.